Welcome back, everybody. Lightning ESL Word of the Day. Word of the Day. What's our word? Look at all these words. Wowzer. Going around, around. What do you think? I don't know. What do you think? Up there. Up there. Stop. Dough. 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 Dough is obviously a part of the music scale, but we're talking about dough for bread. But we're also talking about money. What do you mean by that? Let's take a look. First of all, how do we spell the word dough? All right. We know it's one syllable. D-O-U-G-H. Now, dough is mostly associated for making bread, flour and water, and sometimes eggs and so on. Put it together, you create a dough. Create that dough, make it into bread. However, a long time ago, we used the word dough to talk about money. Yeah, because you might say to yourself, well, it came almost the same thing. You made bread, you made a certain product, people will actually buy it. But also, it became a slang for how much dough do you have in your pocket? How much dough? How much money do you have in your pocket? So when you hear somebody say, I have so much money in my pocket, you have so much dough. Or you see a stack of $100 bills, there's a lot of dough. It's not bread, no, but it's associated with bread many times. The thickness of a bread crust is the thickness of a stack of bills. That's where the idea came from, back in the 1800s. I have so much dough, I have so much dough. Is it dough to make bread? No, it's dough meaning money. Bills and bills and bills and bills. I've seen people with stacks and stacks of $20 bills. And probably an expression would say, that's a lot of dough. Yeah, you see what I mean? So when somebody says, how much dough do you have? At first glance, at first moment, you might say, we're talking about bread. But not always. We could be talking about money. How much dough do you have? Which means how much salary do you have? How much money you have in the bank? That's how much dough you have. It's talking about money. Nothing to do with bread. You see what I mean? So be very careful when you talk about the word dough. Be very careful. Are we talking about money? Or are we talking about flour and water to make bread? Yeah, same word, but it's used two different ways. And look how we spell dough. One syllable for the word dough. D-O-U-G-H. Dough is spelled D-O-U-G-H. One syllable. Dough, dough. All of this is one syllable after the D. Dough, D-O-U-G-H. Are you talking about money? Are we talking about bread? You have to understand the difference. There is a difference. The expression of using the word dough to talk about money goes back to the 1700s. It does. Making of bread was a form of trade. It was some kind of merchandise you exchanged to other goods and services. It was a form of money. It was called dough. It had nothing to do with bread. Interesting, isn't it? The word is dough, D-O-U-G-H. Till next time, thanks very much for listening. Bye-bye.